We may have the concept for the external world. We must have the concept. This is correct, this is not correct, this is good, this is not good. We must have the concept to deal with the external situation, external things. But we should not have any concepts according to the psychological matter. There should be no concept. All concepts are the destructive factor with regarding to the psychological matter. Psychologically, everything is good. According to the nature of the mind alone, we have some feelings and thought. So let it be. There is no, you need not worry about the happenings, unconscious happening. Whether it comes from deep-rooted conditioning may be the cause. But we don't worry about that. But we need not have any concept to control that. So if you take any concept to control, regulate, then there is a problem. So we should not have any concept. This is good, this is bad. There is no concept. But physically and externally, we must have the concept. If there is no concept, it is a waste of life, waste of meaningless. But our mind must be meaningless. we should not give any meaning to our mind. So giving meaning to our mind, that is the real problem. It is only in the preparatory stage. You may have effort to go beyond your thinking and everything. That you try for yourself. For the time being, you can do. Afterwards, you have to abandon everything. You have to give total freedom to your mind. But the external things alone, you have to do something correctly and rightly. But psychologically, we should not interfere with the action. Whatever comes, let it come. We have to give total freedom to our mind.
So will it be right to say that whatever comes, whatever you think, you can relate it or take it as unconscious? Like this is
what happens?
Even my concept of making myself feel better or
feel better, if it happens unconsciously, it is okay. But don't do it consciously. But conscious means the operation of our conscious effort is only because of our idea. Some intellectually we do something. It is not an intentional one. It is not an unconscious one. We are consciously have some idea. This is correct. This is not correct. So only because some idea we interfere with the natural flow. That we can do for the external things and the day-to-day life. But that we have to think. That we have to do consciously. Where we cannot do it unconsciously, we need not do it unconsciously. That we have to do it consciously. But psychological alone, we have to be unconscious, unconditional. What may be conditional or anything. But it may be free. We should not have any interference.
Because I see always there is interference. If I observe myself, there is always interference with what's going on,
But let it be unconscious.
The possessor.
Possessor.
Is always there.
But anyhow, let it be unconscious.
Let it be unconscious. Let it just happen.
Let it happen. But don't do it as a concept because we have some idea. This must be like that. This must be like that.
Sure.
So our concept should not have any interference. Our conditioning may have interference. Conditioning is unconscious. But our concept is in our hand. Our conditioning is not in our hand. We cannot make use of our conditioning. We can make use of our concept. But don't use your concept inwardly.
Okay.
You can use your concept externally.
I think I understand the thing that there is no control over. You cannot do anything about anything. But I think there is still something that is trying.
But anyhow, let it try on its own. Unconsciously, unconscious trying, unconscious effort may have.
Yes.
But in the unconscious way, it will go away as soon as it comes.
Okay.
But anyhow, we need not do anything
Okay.
for ourselves.
Okay.
Intentional, we have to be free from our intentional doing.
Mm-hmm.
Unconscious doing, it is not under our control. It happens and goes away on its own. But don't do it intentionally, consciously.
But actually, when you do something intentionally, so-called, it's also unconsciously, in a way. When you mean intentionally?
Intentional means,
unintentional.
for example, we may have some fear or sorrow.
Yes.
So we have some unconscious reaction that we must be free from sorrow and fear.
Mm-hmm.
So that is unconscious and unintentional.
Mm-hmm.
But after the coming of the unintentional intention to free ourselves,
yeah.
we consciously adopt this unconscious impulse. So we consciously try. Oh, I must be free from our sorrow and sorrow.
Yeah.
So we have that is not necessary.
Uh-huh.
The conscious attempt is not necessary.
Okay.
If it is unconscious, it will go away very soon.
Okay.
But if you do it consciously, then it will not go away from you.
Sure.
It will bring all our struggle.
Okay. You mean as long as I believe that I can
Do something.
do something about it?
About it.
Though this belief is also unconscious in a way, but I just somehow give it power by engaging.
Yeah. But anyhow, there is the nature of the mind to free from sorrow and suffering. It is the very nature of our mind.
Okay.
So there is no problem in it. But when it is the nature of the mind, it is not a problem. But if you conscious application, then it is a problem.
Mm-hmm. So can you say that you can see everything as even your so-called conscious actions or intentional?
No.
Can you say they are also unconscious in a way? They come from unconsciousness.
But anyhow, there is some difference between the unconscious action and conscious action. We can differentiate.
How?
Because we think we can do something, we consciously have the thinking. So we have you think for yourself. You have to set right your thinking.
Yeah.
So
But this is the conditioning.
No.
This is conditioning.
Even though the conditioning may be there,
Yeah.
let it be. But we need not worry about that.
Okay.
But we should not do it consciously. We can you use our conditioning, and conditioning means we have some idea. So we have some idea, and our idea says I must be free from this kind of feeling. So we use our idea and we try to execute that idea. That we should be free from this kind of feeling.
Yeah.
So if you do not have any such kind of idea, then we will not try. So our idea is the background. Only because of the background, only because of the idea, we try to control ourselves consciously.
Okay.
Otherwise, even our conditioning may be the reason, and it will induce our response, unconscious response. But the unconscious response is not at all a problem. Only the conscious response, conscious action, that is a problem.
But I don't understand how you differentiate between the two. I mean,
because of our conscious idea, we think this is correct. We have some idea.
yeah.
So only because of the idea we do that. It is not the conditioning. It is only because of our understanding.
Okay.
The conditioning is our nature. By our conditioning, some unnatural, unconscious responsible. The conditioning is responsible for our unconscious response. But our conscious action, our conditioning is not responsible. Our idea alone is responsible. Our idea, this is correct, this is not correct. So we have some idea. So by that idea we try. Our intention, our unconscious feeling, maybe we have some sorrow, suffering, anger. That may be our conditioning. But our mind, our idea will say this is not good. Unconscious response is our conditioning. Our conditioning is responsible for our unconscious action. But it is not intentional. Our condition like that. So our conditioning naturally comes. The unconscious reaction comes from our conditioning. But our conscious effort is not coming from our conditioning. That is only because we our idea, our concept. So our concept says, I must be always calm, I must be always free from sorrow and suffering.
How can you get rid of this idea? Because it is so natural tendency to...
So natural tendency is something unconscious, but this idea is in our hand. We can, if you have correct idea, the correct idea means says we have nothing to do. We have to come to the understanding. If you understand, we have no business to interfere with the movement of our consciousness, and we will not do it consciously. Because we have the idea, because we see this idea is correct, so we will not do it consciously. But unconsciously we may do. Unconsciousness idea will not have any effect. Our intellect, our conditioning may be the cause.
They are unconscious.
Unconscious. Our conditioning may be the cause.
So how can you... I mean, I understand that. Again, I understand that I have no control over whatever comes up. Include my reaction. Include my... like, let's say, whatever is something unpleasant. Okay, and my reaction will be to be free of it. Some reaction will be like that. You want to be free of this sensation, even.
But you have some, for example, you have unconsciously, you have some fear or anger. Okay. It happens unconsciously. Sure. According to the circumstances, you have some unconscious fear, unconscious anger. But in that same time, your conditioning creates some response. We must be free from anger, we must be free from sorrow. Yeah. That is the natural response. That happens only because of our conditioning. Okay. Because our conditioning says, I must be free from suffering, sorrow and everything. That is our natural response. Okay. And our mind says, then our mind comes to interfere. So we have to be peace always. Yeah. We must be free. Then we give importance to the impulse. I must be free from, even though it happens naturally, yeah. And our intellect adopts the natural response. So this is good. I must be free from anger, free from sorrow, free from suffering. Yes. So the conscious adoption, that's the role of our intellect, role of our idea.
So how can you be free of this idea?
So you have to understand, this understanding is wrong, this idea is wrong. If you understand this idea is wrong, then you will not take your idea.
What is wrong in this idea?
Because whenever you have this idea, you are consciously struggling with yourself. Yeah. Then there will be no relief from you, for you. Because you are unconsciously also you are trying to control yourself, and you are consciously also doing the same. Then there will be some, you become part of your conditioning. Yeah. Then there is no freedom from conditioning. So your idea has the capacity to free from conditioning. In spite of your conditioning, you may do anything. But anyway, if you give support to the conditional response, then thereby but the natural conditioning is to free from suffering and want to retain some good feeling. Exactly. So that is our natural conditioning. Yeah. And if our idea also say the same thing, okay, then there will be no freedom.
When you speak to me about the things we speak about impermanence, about the flowing, about no experience, when you speak with me, I understand. I can feel it makes sense. Okay. But maybe this afternoon or tomorrow or whenever, the understanding is there, but it does not feel the same. Yeah? Like, do you understand?
But for the time being you understand, okay, and afterwards you cannot carry with you. You feel it's a difficulty.
Yeah, not the same. Yeah, when you speak with me, when you tell me, it's like it makes sense. I understand, but after it's Lost.
But here, what is the actual problem is, we want something psychologically. If you do not want anything, we discussed that we need not anything. We need not want anything. So you put down everything. When you put down everything, you feel some relaxation. Because you have some weight with you and you put down everything, you feel some relaxation. But when you are in the natural world, if you do not take anything, you will not feel any heavy. You will not feel heavy. So there is a natural way of life. If you do not feel heavy with you, everything is okay. But only when you feel yourself heavy or problematic within yourself, then only you want to have some freedom from that. If you do not face with any problem, then that is okay. You need not always remain with what we are telling. Actually, what we know, we need not interfere with the free flow of our happenings. All experience comes and goes on its own. The real state, our natural state is in the liberated state. Only because our effort, we in struggling and interfering with the actual flow. Otherwise, we need not. So we have to understand we need not do anything psychologically. But if you want to do anything, we can make use of the psychological happening for the external world, the day-to-day life. But our understanding is over, our work is over up to the level of understanding. If you understand intellectually, this very intellectual understanding is young. There is no necessity whether you forget or not, does not matter. Whatever you do unconsciously, you need not worry about that. Whatever happens, for example, you may have sorrow or suffering within yourself. Whenever you have some sorrow and suffering, the natural tendency is to be free from sorrow and suffering. So it is also natural. You need not worry about that. But we need not do anything consciously and intentionally. If unconscious reaction is not at all, it is not matter. But our conscious interruption, our intentional interruption is the problem. If you understand, we need not interrupt, we need not disturb the regular flow, then our work is over. So water comes naturally. But if you disregard the total structure of total happening of the psychological structure, and our psychological structure comes to the use of the day-to-day life also. We can make very well make use of our psychological structure for the day-to-day life, day-to-day activity. When we do not struggle with ourselves, our total mind becomes innocent. And we can make use of our mind. And when you make use of mind, the mind becomes intelligence to the external world. But psychologically, no intelligence is not necessary. Psychologically, innocence alone is the thing. We need not have any idea, we need not have any work, psychological work. You need not use our intelligence to correct our psychological structure. We must have innocence alone. We have to accept our it. We have no business, we have to feel we have no business psychologically. Then everything is okay. We allow the natural and regular flow of our psychological structure, and whatever problem it may have, it will clear on its own. We need not clear the psychological problem. It will clear on its own.
I have no questions to ask. You answer everything. There's very little to know, to understand.
Matter is very little.
Yeah.
You have to understand.
Yeah, the same thing with me. I also had a lot of questions before I came here. I came with a lot of questions, but right now, absolutely no. Everything dried up. No more questions actually. Well, it doesn't mean that I have understood, but no questions.
Questions has come from the mind. Yeah, the mind wants to know,
So mind
understand.
has to question till the time of understanding. If you understand, then afterwards all questioning is set clear. It is only a doubt. So we have to understand, and we have to confirm the understanding. Then we have to give up everything.